providing an alternative approach to reducing slurry ammonia emissions. So, not for the first time, a lot is being expected of dairy farmers. Hot on the heels of climate change reduction objectives and also the phasing out of the basic payment scheme, there's been a light shone on this tricky area of ammonia. But what is ammonia, and importantly, what is it not? Starting with what it is, ammonia is an environmental pollutant which causes damage to biodiversity and human health, and has therefore been identified as a key emissions reduction target for the UK government in DEFRA, with them looking to reduce 2005 ammonia levels by 16% by 2030. It is also a valuable source of nitrogen in your slurry, which is lost to the atmosphere in the gaseous form. What it is not is a greenhouse gas. So unlike carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide, it needs very different strategies to combat the problem. It is also not the only source of liquid nitrogen in your slurry. There's nitrate, nitrite, urea, plant and bacterial biomass, and many others. So this is a particularly complex area of agriculture. And finally, it's neither completely gas nor liquid. So when it's more acidic, it's majority liquid, and when it's non-acidic, it's majority gas. But it's never completely liquid nor gas. And in terms of what the advice out there at the moment is from DEFRA, they recommend using a suite of measures that they call best available techniques, which are mostly focused on storage and spreading. But the problem is that ammonia emissions are still rising at the moment. So we're looking to add a new strategy in order to help with these various strategies that are already out there. So where do we fit into this? At Envirosystems, we've been involved in treating slurry stores since 2003, and we've done that through the provision of a product called SlurryBugs. And SlurryBugs is a beneficial bacteria, enzyme and micronutrient treatment program for slurry stores, and for all of this time we've successfully improved the fertiliser value, reduced crusting and reduced odour for hundreds of farmers across the UK and abroad. And as with all of the products that we sell, this stays true to our concept that we call the biocircle, which is that everything affects everything on your farm. There's no one solution to getting what we call a healthy biocircle. It's a number of small measures, all of which contribute to that main objective. So our proposed ammonia solution is to deliver the next generation of SlurryBugs, which transforms ammonia into liquid nitrate form. And it does that through precision dosing of naturally occurring bacteria, coupled with aeration, which is driving this pathway, which we can see here. And unlike a lot of strategies that are out there on the market for reducing ammonia, which tend to push the ammonia problem down the track, this fits our biocircle concept because it's converting that ammonia into a different form. So you get away from that problem of it being released as gas in that equilibrium that I talked about earlier. And that's really valuable at a time when fertiliser prices are rising and rising. In terms of the aeration, this allows the oxygenation of the bacteria, which is critical for this particular pathway, and it also has the dual benefit of mixing the slurry with very low energy input. So again, low running costs. And DEFRA was so taken by this concept that in spring last year, along with Innovate UK, they granted an 18-month research project for us to explore this concept further, which we're currently doing in partnership with Myerscough College in Lancashire. So in terms of the timeline, we started in October 2021 and it will conclude in March 2023. and it's a 4-part research project with the first work package involving lab-based trials, which are happening at Envirosystems laboratories. And this is looking at direct measure of ammonia gas, as well as what the nitrate concentration is in the slurry in treated and untreated samples. The next work package will scale up to IBC mini farm scale trials, which are going to be happening at Myerscough College. And this involves commercial grade aeration of IBCs in replica form, and will involve addition of weekly fresh slurry as well as automated dosing of each of the IBCs. And the analysis of the slurry will be carried out again at Envirosystems laboratories. Work package 3 will use the slurry from work package 2 to look at what the impact is on crop growth and soil health. And this will be exclusively carried out at Myerscough College's greenhouse facilities, so under controlled conditions. And then finally, work package 4 will have full farm scale trials, which will take advantage of Myerscough College's fantastic setup, which has 2 identical twin slurry stores. So we'll be able to use the exact same slurry at the same time and have untreated and treated. So that one should be the icing on the cake. So how's it going so far? To carry out a project of this technical requirement, you need the right team. And at the beginning of the project, we started out with myself, Dr. David Townsend and Rory Martin at Myerscough. And we have since expanded the team to include Rebecca McStay at Envirosystems, who holds a Masters in Microbiology, and Sophie Bull at Myerscough College, who holds a BSc in Agricultural Livestock Science. And both Rebecca and Sophie have made a massive impact so far, really hit the ground running and put a lot of energy behind what's needed in this research project. Another key objective that we've achieved is that we've expanded our analytical capabilities at Envirosystems HQ. So we already had the capability to directly measure ammonia gas, but we weren't able to measure the nitrate concentration that's in the slurry, which is a key measure. So we've invested in wet chemistry auto-analysis equipment, which can accurately measure all the different types of nitrogen in the slurry, as well as total phosphorus, total potassium, and dissolved carbon. And we see the NP and K as critical for measuring the fertiliser value of the slurry, whereas the dissolved carbon should be really, really useful at looking at what the impact will be on soil health. So just to talk you through the setup that we now have at Envirosystems, we have a fume hood for preparing the chemicals, a digestion block which is to digest the slurry, and it can then go through the analysis software. We have a 50 sample feeder, so we can automatically sample 50 samples at once. And then a wet chemistry auto-analyzer, which can produce all of these parameters accurately. And we believe this to be the most sophisticated slurry analysis setup in a commercial setting in the UK currently. And long term, we're planning to offer this as a service to dairy farmers so that they can accurately measure what the fertiliser quality is of their slurry and therefore reduce input costs. Now, there'll be more to follow on this in the coming months, so please follow us on our various social media channels for more details on this. Finally, work package 1 trials have been underway for around 2 months now, and results expected imminently. And hot off the press, these were put in on Monday of this week. So these are the 12 IBCs that are set up at Myerscough College with commercial grade aeration equipment fitted. So we're hoping to start that in the next couple of weeks. So in terms of next steps, we plan to complete the proof of concept work package 1 with the required biology and dosing regime. We're looking to finalise our patent application, which is currently pending. We'll begin work packages 2, 3 and 4 over the coming months, and we'll share the final results with the industry in March 2023. So that just leaves me to thank our grant sponsors, Innovate UK and DEFRA, and thank you all for listening. We don't have time for questions, I don't think, but I'm here for the rest of the day at stand L2. And I'm also happy if you have buying groups that you want me to repeat this presentation to, please reach out and let me know. Thank you very much.